We think it's about porn. We think we need food. We think we need screens. We think we need whatever it is. But if we're willing to pause and slow down and take a look, there's something else going on beneath the surface.
All right, podcast land. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yaden Smith and Matthew Sinkovitz here. Let me put my glasses on so I can hear better, right? I'm at the age where my kids make fun of me, like, turn the radio down. I can't see when I'm driving, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Anyways, listeners, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Recovered Dad podcast.
Yes.
Matt, I can tell it's still cold up where you live because I'm in a t-shirt in my office and you're in your beanie and what looks like a wool something or other.
It is, sir. It is. Winter is definitely
It was 29 degrees this morning when I woke up.
Wow. Not bad, sir.
How cold is it up there when you wake up?
Oh, man. You know what? I don't really know. I can tell you that it's been, I'd say below zero most of the time. Actually, right now it's 48, so not too shabby.
Oh, man, 48. Okay. It's 59 where I am, so, you know.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Well, listeners, I'm excited. I'm excited this week because I got story time, right?
Oh, man.
One of the things we do that we talk about here on the Recovered Dad podcast is real life stories on how recovery makes us better fathers, right? Because let's be honest, for dads out there, what are the biggest stakes in our lives? Our family, our wives, our partner, our children, right? We are playing for keeps with our family. We don't get a dress rehearsal. There's no dress rehearsal for this, right? It's real ammunition 24/7.
No.
So story time. I'm excited. This is a fun story because I'm excited about it. So last week, my family and we took this family vacation. I got to give you some backstory. So we homeschool 3 of our 4 children. Our 3 older boys are homeschooled. Our youngest daughter, she goes to the school down the street. She's in 5th grade. Other boys are all teenagers. And one of the guys in the friend group, one of the guys that my boys play D&D with on their D&D campaign, he was graduating. And for his senior trip, his family decided they were going to go on a cruise. Well, my wife and I, we went on a cruise last year in the fall. Just the 2 of us. Had a great time. For her first time on a cruise, she's like, oh, I love cruising. So my wife offered to this friend, said, hey, you feel free to say no, but if you want company, let us know. We'd love to join you. So it started off as a family of 4 going on a senior graduation cruise, turned into 35 people.
Wow.
From all over the area where I live, friend group, families, parents, my in-laws went, right? Big group went on this cruise with the Royal Caribbean out of Cape Canaveral. Now, let me tell you, if you want to go on a cruise, going with friends makes it a lot more fun. So we get down there, 5-day, 4-night cruise, Monday through Friday, get on the boat, leave on Monday, get back to port on Friday. We're going to stop in Nassau in the Bahamas. We're going to stop at Coco Cay, Royal Caribbean's like private island that they bought. It's like a theme park. And, you know, it's a way you can spend more money on a cruise. I'm going to be honest, right? You can buy a ticket for this, buy a ticket for that, buy a ticket for the other thing. Coco Cay, a day at sea, and then back at port. 5 days, 4 nights. Now, having said this, if you're a dad out there, you already know where I'm going next. Because let's be honest, a family vacation is not a vacation for dad. It's a family trip. And hopefully I'm operating at such a level where my wife can disconnect, my wife can decompress, my kids have a good time. But let's be honest, man, like you go on a family vacation, not so vacation-like for dad. And especially on a cruise, the good thing about a cruise is all the kids are confined. There's nowhere to go. You're just on a boat. Now, it's a big-ass boat. You know, 3 football fields long, 16 decks high, pools, food, shows, all the things. So much stuff for the kids to do. almost 24/7, except there's a curfew. If you're under 18 at 1 a.m., that's when 17 and under have to go into their rooms. 1 a.m. So my kids are just going. They're going hard in the paint every day with their friends. Pizza place is open till 2 a.m. They're just eating pizza, wandering around, having a great time, catching the shows, doing all the kids stuff, having a blast. Problem for dad is that I can't just adjust my body clock and be like, oh, hey, guess what? I'm going to be staying up till 1 a.m. all week. I'm just going to move my body clock so that I don't wake up till 8. Y'all feel me out there? That is not what happens. My body clock is like, ding, 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 5:45, time to get up. Let's go. 6 a.m. at the latest, maybe 6:30. I can go back to sleep. My body clock is like, what are you doing in bed, doofus? It's time to get up and get after it. You got to get the dogs, take them for a walk. Like, no, I don't, brain. I'm on vacation. So that is the situation that I'm talking about. It's a situation, 5 days, 4 nights, 18-hour days. I'm getting 6 hours of sleep, maybe, running and gunning nonstop, having a great time. My 3 boys are in a cabin. My wife and I and our daughter are in another cabin, adjoining rooms. No privacy, no opportunity to get jiggy with it with my wife, right? There's no opportunity for that. So I know if you're a dad out there, then definitely that is not a vacation. If there's no action happening, that is not a vacation for dad. Tell me I'm wrong. All right, so Matt, you can visualize this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the picture is pretty clear.
I'm seeing it. Sounds like an extended, family outing, all hands on deck.
Oh, and it was a great time. Don't get me wrong. One, I had made my peace with no sex while we're on the cruise. It's like, okay, I understand, logically. Yeah. Any moment a kid could use their key card and open the door. Any moment. They're out until 1 a.m., right? Just because it's 11:30 at night doesn't mean we have any privacy. Any moment a kid can walk in. Just so sex off the table. Even when I went to bed before midnight, like 11:45, kids are still coming in for the next hour and a half, opening the door, getting ready for bed. So I'm not really falling asleep until 1 a.m. anyway. Waking up the next day, breakfast, everything going. That's the situation. Middle of the week, Wednesday. We were on Coco Cay, Royal Caribbean's Island. I'm standing there on the beach. It was beautiful, beautiful beach. Kids were having fun, wandering around the island with their friends in the surf, not really surf, just in the water, playing volleyball, playing sand pickleball, just having a great time. And suddenly, my brain exploded. It was like a tsunami of thoughts and emotions, just like bam, 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 bam. This internal meltdown happened. It was the weirdest thing. Totally understandable, right? Because I'm there on the beach, but I remember things like, holy crap, what is going on? We're here on this cruise, having a great time, right? I don't have to worry about what the kids are going to eat. I don't have to negotiate for, I did have to negotiate a little bit like, hey, 5 p.m. we're meeting in the dining room for our, sit down dinner. Did negotiate that. But other than that, the kids were just doing their own thing, having a great time. So I'm having a blast when suddenly the story explodes in my head. The emotions start boiling out of my ears. And it was the classic dad story, right? You know the story I'm talking about, where I'm taken for granted, I'm unappreciated, unwanted, unloved, undesired. Nobody understands how hard I'm pushing. Nobody understands the weight I'm carrying. Just like that classic dad story started blasting at 11, volume cranked to 11. My emotions, like I could feel the inner tension in my chest, in my head. And I'm looking around. Also, it didn't really help a lot that I'm on an island in the Caribbean, right? You can just imagine
The
with
seagulls,
5,000
right?
people,
Right.
5,000 people off the boat, right? He's like people in bathing suits, and as they should be, right? Wear whatever you want to wear. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to police what you want to wear. I'm taking responsibility for where I look. That's what I'm taking responsibility for. So I was just, watching my shoes a lot of the time. But in this moment, my brain starts to melt down. My emotions start to explode. And I couldn't figure out what was happening. It was so surreal. And I realized, what is going on here? I wasn't triggered. I wasn't, nobody yelled at me. My kids weren't pitching a fit. My wife wasn't upset. I hadn't gotten in any conflict or anything. But internally, that conflict internal was battle royale. Just two pirate ships in the Caribbean, just going at it. Boom, 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 just fighting on the inside. And I realized, oh my God, I am dysregulated right now. My nervous system is overwhelmed, absolutely out of regulation. And I realized why. And I don't know why I was surprised because running on little sleep, 18-hour days, 30,000 steps a day, wandering around the ship, trying to get my runs in for my training, working, no privacy, too late, up too early, all these things. I realized, oh my God, my defenses have just crumbled.
Right.
They just evaporated. I didn't even realize they were crumbling until suddenly they just weren't there. And just like, pow! The flood of thoughts, the flood of emotions rushed in. And it was in that moment where I realized, like, holy crap. I'm physically exhausted. Right? What's the acronym we talk about?
HALT.
HALT. Walk us through that acronym, Matt.
Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, baby.
What's that last one?
Tired.
Tired.
Yes, sir.
I realized that I wasn't hungry. Trust me, on a cruise, you're not hungry.
Right.
I wasn't angry. Nobody had, I hadn't gotten set off. I wasn't lonely. Okay, I was a little bit lonely. Right? A little bit lonely. Right? Let's be real. A little bit lonely. But I realized, holy crap, I am exhausted. Physically, I'm exhausted. I am so tired, not getting enough sleep, and I am on the verge of this emotional Mount Vesuvius explosion.
Yeah.
I felt like, if I get bumped, I'm going to explode. And I realized being so dysregulated is like my brain is lying to me. It's this unreliable narrator. It's just spinning whatever story it wants to spin. It doesn't have anything to do with reality because I'm exhausted. So I made this executive decision with what little brain capacity I had. Like, I need to walk to the ship, rinse the salt water off, take a quick shower, lie down in bed, close my eyes, see if I can take a nap. Something to just recharge my batteries physically. Mm. And I'll tell you, it was very surreal walking back to the ship. It felt like I was piloting this machine with all these alarm bells going off, right? It's like I felt like I was piloting this human mech suit with like all the gauges were low or too high. All the alarms were going off, right? All the dashboard lights on your car were lit up. Everything was going wrong. And I was just like, I just have to make it back to the ship. Keep walking, body. Take another step. Get back to the ship. Finally got back to the ship just so I could lie down. And if nothing else, let the story play itself out. Let the emotions burn themselves out without me being in a place where I was at high risk of reacting to my family. Yeah. And I told my wife, I told her straight up, I was like, babe, I am not okay. I'm feeling super dysregulated. I have to go lie down, right? What can I do with the kids? Do you need anything from me before I go? Because I'm going back to the ship. I have to lie down. She's like, no, I got it. I may message you if I need help later, in an hour and a half. I'm like, okay. So I got back to the ship, took a shower, got in bed. I don't really know if I fell asleep because a little while later, my son messaged me and said, I'm coming back to the ship too. But I know that I got physical rest. I got mental rest. I was able to close my eyes, some peace, some quiet, really do the work that I've practiced, the skill of my meditation of being able to like separate myself from all of the thoughts, all of the emotion, be like, what's going on here? Okay. Let's just let these thoughts happen instead of fighting them. Let's let these emotions happen. I don't have to do anything. I can just lie here in bed and relax. Oh, man. I feel like I need to take a nap now as I'm just getting to the end of this story. You know what it seems like?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of recovering from the exhaustion of last week. Here it is Tuesday of this week.
Yeah.
But y'all, right? It was this weird situation because Matt, in a situation like that, what would old Matt do in a situation like that?
Well, let me just jump in a little bit here.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of your story. It's a great story. It's a great illustration, and it illustrates well why we do the work and the skills that we're developing through this recovery journey. Here as part of the recovered dad, and it goes back to this fundamental idea that we've talked about a lot here on the podcast, and we share so frequently in the community. Is you think it's a thing, you think it's a sex drive thing. And what we've come to realize, and I think I'll get clear on as members of this community, men who are doing this work, is it's not about. We think it's about. We think we need food. We think we need screens. We think we need whatever it is. But if we're willing to pause and slow down and take a look, there's something else going on beneath the surface. And that's why this work of emotional intelligence and the skill of being able to emotionally regulate and be aware, like Yade mentioned the meditation piece, like be aware of what's going on, is such a critical piece of this puzzle. So old Matt, it's a real growth journey. Old Matt might get stuck in that stinking thinking, in that cycle, in that emotional story that's just spinning. And it's like that part of me that is dysregulated and maybe not thinking clearly is the part that steps into the driver's seat and takes over. And I think over time, what we begin to do is develop these skills that are almost automatic or automated. So like Yaden mentioned, like when you were going back to the ship, it's like you were on autopilot just getting back there. What do I need to do to get myself back? And that's a muscle, I would say, because arguably we're in a weaker place in that moment. And we're
very weak.
We're susceptible. And I think what's ultimately going on, like there's a part of us that just needs to reach for something. And that's why, like maybe if we're back home in our regular environment, we reach for the phone, we reach for the screen, we reach for the food, we reach for the dopamine essentially, because I need something to help me regulate here. And so often one of the biggest pieces I've come to recognize is when I'm feeling triggered like that, when I'm feeling the signals for food, for sex, for screens, whatever it is, oftentimes fatigue is accompanying that feeling or that trigger. So like one of the big prompts that we offer, and what I always offer, is when you're experiencing this moment of dysregulation and kind of internal chaos that Yaden speaks to here, give yourself the gift of pausing and saying, like, what else is present here? And Yaden, it's like you had the awareness through the work you've done to be able to pause and regulate, like, okay, I need to rest right now.
Yeah.
I need to rest. I need to regulate. So old versions of us may have gone to the screen, may have gone to the food, may have gone to the whatever, or just sat in the shit and exploded on the next, person or.
Old version of me, because like on the ship, there's no internet.
Right.
There was no internet. So, but old version of me would have exploded.
Yeah.
Would have gotten stuck in my own head, stuck in my emotions. And I would have, in all honesty, I would have ruined the rest of the trip for my whole family.
Yep.
I would have shown up dysregulated, full of my own uncomfortable emotions, frustration, anger, disappointment. All these uncomfortable emotions would have just taken over. I wouldn't have been able to sit with the story in my head. And
Yeah.
I'd have had this black cloud
Yeah.
of negative energy following me around, this darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have ruined it for my wife. I would have ruined it for my kids. I would have come down with a sledgehammer on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
It reminds me of, so we talk about emotional intelligence, and maybe if you're new to this conversation, you say, what's that? But it's real deal stuff, man. It's like part of the healthy masculine is emotional intelligence, is emotional awareness. So for me, there's a couple pieces of this, and Yaden, I feel like you exemplified it and embodied it well. One, first of all, can we be aware of what's going on for us emotionally, right? So you demonstrated like that, like, okay, something's not good. I'm not doing well. Number two, can we be willing to sit and be present with these emotions? Okay, like, can we hold them? Which is like another way in which our meditation practice really plays into this. Can I be present with this stuff? Can I sit with it for a moment? Number three, can I communicate it or name it or articulate it, which is what you did to your wife? Hey, I'm not okay right now. I'm not okay right now. I'm dysregulated, whatever it is. And number four, can I take like the healthy action? It's kind of like the 4-rack. Can I take that healthy action and get myself back into center, which is what you did by going to the boat and taking the nap. So it's a beautiful demonstration of emotional intelligence.
And it's weird because I have this grief gratitude thing going on. I grieve that I lost 34 years of my life to addiction, but I'm also grateful that the addiction led me to these tools and these skills that let me navigate a situation like that in pretty close to real time with my family without nuclear fallout happening for the rest of the trip. Right?
Real quick, man, I got to say, and what I think that gives you. So 34 years a year, 34 years of your life, whatever the story used to be, wasted on addiction, whatever it is. And what I see now is, so you've got this, I would say like you're like a fire energy, right? Like a lot of like fire, explosive potential in you, right? And that's modeled, like that's like demonstrated all throughout your life.
Yeah.
And dysregulated, it's scary. It's scary to the world.
Scary.
It's scary to your family. It's potentially destructive, that fire energy.
Yeah.
But with the skill set and with the tools, your ability to harness and focus that fire, that energy, that power becomes a weapon. It becomes power.
It becomes power for good.
Yeah.
It becomes power for good in the world. Yeah. And I am here for it.
Yeah, brother. Love it.
All right, my guy. If you're out there listening, thanks for making it this far with us this week. Check us out. If you want to know more about who we are, what we do, check us out online, therecovereddad.com. You can get some free downloads with what we have, the freedom, the the Father's Freedom Framework download, which is kind of the fundamental outline that we use in the Liberation Bootcamp. 4-rack formula, helping dads learn this skill, build this skill so that our most valuable resource in our life is safe.
Yep.
Our kids and our family and our wife. Sorry, it's that time of day. So, brothers, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, brother.
On the next episode. Matt, peace,
thank you,
power.
Brother. Peace, power. Noble men.
Noble men.